I can change my hairstyle, change my outfit, and thank you, Warden Davidson, for letting me do that today. As a mom of 7, I've changed a lot of diapers. There's a change in the weather. Does anyone have change for $1? Climate change, change my mind, and as a woman, you better bet I reserve the right to change it back again. Times are changing. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Tragically, it wasn't until I took the life of a child, until I forever changed the lives of those closest to me, that I learned the many different definitions of change, both the negative and the positive impact change can bring, and the hard reality that my failure to change had devastated everyone I loved. You see, for the first 30 years of my life, I was like this can of pop. I kept my true thoughts and feelings bottled up and stuffed inside, never learning how to express them in a healthy way. Always wanting to please people and to present myself as having it all together. This was a habit I would cultivate from an early age. At the age of 15, I got pregnant, kicked out of school in my childhood home. I set out to go be an adult, show everyone I could do it without their help. Instead of using the adversity as motivation to rise above for this welfare of myself and that of my daughter, I allowed the guilt and shame and public humiliation to use my situation as a cop-out, as a way to receive pity, and as an excuse not to do any better. I would continue to practice my victim stance, my poor me way of thinking, with each new experience that happened to me. For the next 15 years, I would drag my children, by then there were 5, through divorce, boyfriends, financial instability, evictions, and my own mood swings and irrational behaviors. Having never discovered who I was, my core principles, values, and beliefs, I fashioned masks that I hid behind. I was a PTA mom who organized every event, the team mom who didn't say no to any function, the neighbor that would drive your kid to school or babysit in just a moment's notice. My favorite, the woman more concerned about how strangers in the Walmart checkout line perceived me than the way I would go home and treat my partner just moments later. Only those who lived with me witnessed the agitation. Everyone else saw what looked like a sweetheart. You see, I had a tight grip on appearances. I tried to control everything until I finally lost control and struck my friend's defenseless child who was in my care that day. My reaction took her life and changed the lives of so many. The following days found me in jail, pregnant with twins, and locked in a cell with a stranger, me. Without my kids, without an audience to perform for. Who was I? Did I even want to find out? I felt like a monster, and I wanted to die. One of the benefits of being forced to face myself was the realization that if I wanted to get to the other side of the pain, I had to go through the pain. That meant spending time recalling all the lies I had told, time acknowledging the people I had hurt, time discovering my dysfunctional pattern, time trying to find the balance between taking full responsibility for my actions, but learning to move forward so the weight of all of that does not define the future. Although I was starting to change on the inside, It took longer to reflect on the outside. Sadly, I would continue to lie to those around me about what I had done, not having the courage or the integrity to own my actions. It wasn't until an unexpected opportunity presented itself that my changes began to shine through. Volunteers. Lovely women that didn't know me before I became an inmate, invested time in me, met me right where I was at, and loved me despite my past. Their friendship taught me that I could be authentic, that I had a purpose outside of being someone's wife, girlfriend, even mom. These volunteers from the Good News Jail and Prison Ministries quickly became valued mentors, inspiring me to change the direction of my life. I arrived at the Nebraska Correctional Center for Women almost 2 years later. With the groundwork already established in jail, I was determined to continue my journey of personal change. By participating in work and program opportunities, I was connected with even more volunteers through programs such as Prison Fellowship, Toastmasters, and Defy Ventures. These vital relationships have resulted in an extended support system that reaches out beyond the razor wire and into the surrounding communities, continuing to provide me with accountability. To date, my butt has filled a seat in over 40 classes in 11 years. But more importantly, guys, I'm taking the tools provided to me through them and I'm implementing them into my daily life, directly influencing my actions and building my character. One of my favorite classes was the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It was as if the late author, Dr. Stephen Covey, used me as the what not to do example in every chapter. There I learned the difference between being reactive and proactive. A reactive person says, well, there's nothing I can do. That's just the way I am. Oh, he makes me so mad. I can't, I won't, only. A proactive person is more like this. And even when shaken, says, what are my options? I can choose a different approach. My feelings are not who I am. I choose, I can, I will. Truths such as these have helped me become more like this bottle of water. Sure, I still get shook up. I still make mistakes. Circumstances still arise that catch me off guard. But now, I'm healthy enough to make a choice versus reacting without thought of consequence. I now know that it is not what happens to us that hurts us, but our response to what happens that hurts us. To make choices based on principle rather than impulse or emotion, to change my default pattern from survival living to purposeful living. So what's now my purpose? One of the reasons I wanted to speak today was because I know that many women, whether incarcerated or not, know what it's like to hide behind masks, to let pressure build, to try to control, and to not seek help when stress builds and life seems unlivable. We don't realize that in order to take care of others, we must first take care of ourselves. I cannot make restitution. I cannot bring life back. I cannot change the consequence of making bad, poor choices. But I can send a message. Remember, at this very moment, you possess the power to change. We can choose to see our lives becoming different. And when we do, we move the mountains in our paths. Others will come alongside us, love and respect us for who we are becoming. But the process isn't quick. It isn't easy. but it is possible. Possible to live life uncarbonated.